Neillsville, Wisconsin, a small town in the Midwest that holds an old grave. Just a few miles north is the unincorporated town of Christie, which holds a restless spirit. What do these two places have in common? Find out next on The Haunting Experiments.
Hi, my name is Devin, and I'm one of the co-founders of The Haunting Experiments. My husband Tony and I created this paranormal research group in hopes of better understanding what oftentimes cannot be explained. With the help of our team members, Dennis and Jesse, we would like to take you into a world with no certainty or guarantees. We are the
Haunting Experiments.
A couple miles outside of Christie, Wisconsin, there is a bridge that crosses over the Black River. Over 100 years ago, a 67-year-old woman was reported to have taken her life and drowned. Ever since her death, there have been odd occurrences. For the next few months after the woman's death, several farmers reported seeing strange mists or lights above the bridge, and on one occasion, a farmer's horse stopped dead in his tracks and refused to cross over. Many wonder if the restless spirit of this woman is haunting this country bridge. But why? The Neillsville Cemetery is the final resting place for Charlotte Mills and her family. On October 4th, 1907, Charlotte laid out her clothes on her bed that she wanted to be buried in, walked about a mile from her home to a bridge in Christie, and took her life.
My name is Stephen Collins. We are here at the Neillsville Cemetery. We are now approaching Charlotte Mills's grave.
What you are about to see is the Mills family plot.
Okay, Stephen, this grave here is unmarked, so we have no idea who is buried here. However, this grave here, Father Claude, Mother Charlotte E. Claude was Charlotte's son, the only son that lived. And he married a woman, ironically named Charlotte. Okay, then over here, Ransom. That was Charlotte's son from her first marriage. Over on this side is Fayette Ransom. That was her other son from her first marriage. And on the back side is Calvin, her second husband, who died from a heart attack in 1905. And on this side we have Charlotte.
Charlotte A. Raymond was born in Manlius, New York on August 1st, 1840, to Luther and Julia Raymond. When Charlotte was 3 years of age, her family, which consisted of her parents and 2 other siblings, moved to Waukesha, Wisconsin. 2 years after that, they relocated again to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, to secure land so her father Luther could start a family farm. On November 3rd of 1857, she married a Mr. Ransom. In doing further research, we believe his full name was Bostic Ransom, and he was originally from Ohio. We came across a list of soldiers who served in the Civil War. We do believe that this was her husband, but cannot proclaim it without a doubt, as there hasn't been any further information on him that we could obtain. Ransom and Charlotte had 2 sons, Fayette and Benjamin. We are not sure what fate met her first husband, but it is a possibility he died while serving his country. After he passed away, Charlotte met and married Calvin John Mills in 1866, and they relocated to Christie, Wisconsin 4 years later. As did her first husband, Calvin also served in the Civil War as a part of the Wisconsin Volunteer Infantry. As you can see, there is a marker by their family plot for the late Mr. Mills. After her marriage to Calvin, they had a son named Claude Lee, who was born in 1877. Charlotte had already experienced loss with her first husband, and then in 1883 her father Luther passed away. To add to her losses, in 1899 her son Fay moved away from Wisconsin and traveled in search of gold. On October 12, 1901, he drowned on the steamer Goddard, 10 miles from shore during a gale. 1 year later, she received more devastating news. Her son Benjamin died on October 2nd of 1902 in Idaho. Poor Charlotte lost both sons within a year of each other. The final tragedy happened on January 29, 1905. Her second husband, Calvin, died suddenly around 3 a.m. of a sudden heart attack. After his death and the other deaths of loved ones, Charlotte fell into a deep depression and expressed to her only surviving son, Claude, her feelings that her life was pointless, full of misfortune, and not worth living. On October 4th, 1907, she laid out clothes on her bed that she wanted to be buried in, walked about a mile away from her home to a bridge in Christie, and took her life. She told her son Claude she was going to visit friends, but after she was gone for 2 days, her son went looking for her. He searched near the Black River and found her footprints and shawl. It was then that he found her lifeless body floating in a shallow part of the river near the shore. Her death was ruled a drowning, self-inflicted. Our investigation at the Charlotte Mills Bridge has been very interesting. Our team, which is the Haunting Experiments, have been out there on several occasions. This is one location that we seem to get activity every time we go there, which we think is pretty rare indeed.
Here there has been an obscene amount of paranormal activity, not only associated with Charlotte Mills, but also associated with other spirits that we do not know anything about. As I stand here today, I will tell you this: up the road up there is a lot of activity. There's a dirt road. I have taken numerous paranormal groups down that road. This place we've recorded on DVR. We've recorded horse-drawn carriages on a wooden bridge. We've recorded little kids down here giggling. So I am looking forward tonight to coming back down here tonight for the investigation and seeing what we can find.
So what have I experienced? Well, how many times have we been down here, Tony? Like about 5 times?
Yeah.
Every time I come down here, I get a splitting headache. Like today, I have a horrible headache. I always felt like something's been watching me when I've been down here before. I always kind of got the feeling from the woods over to our, well, it's my left, your right, whatever. And I don't know, that's where they've captured EVP clips and where they saw shadows darting back and forth. I personally won't go in the woods, and neither will Dena. Dena, what have you experienced?
I've seen glowing red eyes in the woods. I've had my hair played with.
Whatever is here, whatever entity is here, it seems to, I always thought that it was really always gotten to me. Any other place we've been to, I have never really been all that creeped out. But here, it's a totally different story. I just feel that there's obviously something more than Charlotte's ghost here. There's something, and it's not good, whatever it is.
Our team has had everything from a sense of foreboding to feeling like we are being watched from the woods. We have heard a gunshot from afar at a very late hour, which we thought was unusual. And there's the occasional twig breaking or sounds of someone or something walking around. Perhaps an eerie feeling of something breathing down the back of one's neck has happened as well. When approaching the bridge, there is a side road to the left that people can pull into and drive down so they can park, have a picnic, or stretch. Every time we go there, that is where we park. There is the bridge on one side and the woods on the other. Between our group and the Mid-Wisconsin Paranormal Group, we all sense something in the woods. Something that could possibly be from another realm. Something that is not good. The woods. Now this is unnerving. A member of the Haunting Experiments and the Mid-Wisconsin Paranormal Group went into the woods and down by the river. While down there, both of them saw what appeared to be 2 shadows darting around and around. During this time, they had their flashlights on, and when they pointed them straight out, that is when they saw what appeared to be 2 shadows running back and forth, in and out of the light. This was in the month of April, so there were no bugs or mist of any kind that night. We are at a loss because all along we have been trying to contact Charlotte, thinking she was the only presence possibly at the bridge. Now, after investigating further and with our sister team, we have discovered that there may be more presences at and around the bridge into the forest. We all agree there is something possibly evil lurking within those trees. On a lighter note, the Mid-Wisconsin Paranormal Group have experienced hearing the laughter of children, and on a couple occasions, one of the women have felt their hair being tugged on and played with. We are all perplexed because now we have no idea how many possible entities there are out there, and why there are some possibly good and some possibly bad. The biggest question, why are they all there? And is Charlotte Mills one of them? The night of our investigation didn't turn out the way we expected. We had all our equipment, including camcorders and digital cameras, charged, and unexpectedly all the batteries died. We were not able to film anything at night down by the bridge. However, we do want to share with you a series of 3 voice recordings, or EVPs, we and our sister group obtained on one of our past investigations down at the bridge. On the first clip, the male voice appears to be saying, "Do you feel nervous?" And another smaller voice answers, "No." On the second EVP clip, there is a distinct sound of a male voice wailing throughout the woods and countryside, "Help." The third audio reveals the sound of an angry male voice saying, "Take 'em." Well, what a trip we've just been on. Perhaps for some of you, this is only the beginning. Anyone up for a road trip tonight? What a night it will be if you do visit Charlotte Mills and her spirit friends. Maybe a child or two will play with wisps of your hair, or you may see shadows darting around, a dance of death. Use extreme caution while venturing into the woods at night. We would hate for you to meet the same fate as some of these restless spirits. As for Charlotte, poor woman, she may be resting in peace, or she may be awaiting your next visit. Good night, and sweet dreams.